We often hear about the immense world-changing power of faith, but today we are exploring a profound lesson Jesus taught when he described something incredibly small, the genuine faith that is truly the size of a tiny mustard seed. Imagine taking that minuscule seed, one of the smallest you can possibly find in the marketplace, and truly grasping the potential for growth and stature contained within its hard, unassuming shell. This incredible biblical metaphor points directly to the authority given to every believer, suggesting that even a kernel of sincere trust in the Creator possesses the staggering power to command massive obstacles, represented by mountains, to shift and move out of our designated path. The act of exercising this faith isn't always about loud, instant miracles. Sometimes it looks like patiently waiting in the quiet stillness, maintaining an unshakable confidence that the promised outcome will arrive precisely when it is absolutely meant to. True trusting involves letting go of our desperate need to control every single variable, willingly surrendering the detailed blueprint of our personal lives to a wisdom that is infinitely greater than our limited human understanding. This surrender is especially challenging when the path ahead seems completely obscured by personal struggles, symbolized by a thick, impenetrable fog settling over a familiar landscape. Obedience, which serves as the tangible, visible evidence of that deep inner conviction, is simply taking the very next single step forward in the direction we sense God leading. Irrespective of how small or insignificant that first movement might appear to observers. Just like that initial, nearly invisible seed requires the consistent elements of time, nurturing water, and essential sunlight to mature. Our faith also develops through a steady rhythm of small intentional choices. These choices build upon one another, strengthening and deepening our spiritual roots, with every trial that successfully proves the resilience and sincerity of our foundational belief system. The core message Jesus delivered emphasizes not the sheer quantity of belief measured in impressive volume, but the essential quality: it must be completely sincere, entirely focused on the divine, and authentically rooted in established truth. Do not ever be discouraged by the perceived smallness of your current personal situation, or the seemingly minor nature of the request you are currently bringing before the divine. Instead, focus on activating that pure, genuine core of trust you already possess inside your heart, recognizing it as the catalyst that unlocks the miraculous potential for movement and change. Think of the farmer who plants hundreds of seeds, knowing that only a fraction might yield a massive harvest, yet he still plants every single one with complete expectation of the eventual fruit. Your small beginning is not a sign of failure, but rather the necessary starting point for something monumentally greater that only God can orchestrate in His perfect timing. When you feel small, remember that the greatest giants in history were felled by the smallest stones, illustrating that the vessel is far less important than the power directed through it. This isn't a call for perfection in your presentation of faith, but rather an invitation to absolute honesty in your reliance upon the one who already knows the depth of your heart's true commitment. Consider the sheer obedience of Abraham, who left his home based on a promise he couldn't possibly see the end result of, trusting only the character of the one who called him out into the unknown. Sometimes moving your mountain means enduring the silent, invisible battles fought daily against doubt, fear, and the nagging voice that tells you your efforts are simply too insignificant to matter. Keep nurturing that seed of belief with quiet confession and consistent action, understanding that consistency, not magnitude, is often the key ingredient in spiritual maturity. The moment you decide to act upon that small certainty to forgive, to speak the truth, to take that leap of trust, is the very instant the mountain begins its imperceptible, slow process of shifting. Remember the story of the disciples facing a storm that seemed insurmountable, yet their small plea, born from desperation, was enough to wake the Master, who commanded immediate peace. Your small word of prayer, spoken from a place of real need, is more powerful than any well-rehearsed speech delivered with impressive but empty confidence. Growth isn't always immediately visible to the naked eye. Often the most vital work in faith happens deep beneath the surface, where we cannot see the roots taking hold. It's about genuine connection, like a circuit being completed when you fully connect your will to the divine will, instantly drawing incredible energy into your situation. Embrace the small steps of obedience today, because those minuscule acts are the very things that build the necessary momentum to eventually accomplish what seems humanly impossible tomorrow. The authenticity of your desire to follow, even when you stumble or feel uncertain, is what validates your seed of faith to the one who sees everything. When faced with a challenge that feels like an unclimbable cliff face, recall that even the smallest acts of belief are recognized as monumental by the God who created the universe from nothing. Do not spend your energy trying to inflate your faith to an unbelievable size. Instead, focus on purifying the small amount you genuinely possess until it shines with unmixed sincerity. Imagine the spiritual roots you are developing now, which, though hidden from sight, will one day sustain a mighty tree offering shelter to your entire family and community. This journey is less about sudden, dramatic transformations, and much more about the daily cultivation of a reliable inner posture that always defaults back to divine certainty. Every time you choose to obey a gentle nudge of the Spirit rather than following the loud clamor of your immediate anxiety, you are effectively proving the reality of your mustard seed faith. The proof of answered prayer often isn't instant thunder. Sometimes it arrives as a quiet, unshakable peace settling over a situation that logically should have spiraled completely out of control. Allow yourself the grace to start small, because starting is the essential precursor to finishing strong. And the small start is where the genuine commitment first reveals itself. Trust the process of growth that operates outside of your limited timeline, knowing that the seed must first go into the darkness of the soil before it can ever reach for the sunlit promise. When you combine that genuine seed with the infinite power available to you, you create a force capable of reshaping reality according to the perfect will laid out for your life. Don't wait to feel completely brave or perfectly prepared. Act on the small measure of conviction you possess right now, because that is all that is actually required for activation. The enduring lesson is that the size of the miracle is never determined by the size of the belief offered, but rather by the infinite capacity of the God to whom that belief is directed. So take courage from this truth today and fully commit to trusting God with your seemingly insignificant details, because those are often the very places where His grandest works begin to unfold. Go forth and act with the certainty that even the tiniest kernel of faith, when sincerely placed in the right hands, is more than enough to accomplish every single magnificent thing the Father has planned for you. Keep planting those seeds of trust in every area of your life, no matter how small the plot of earth seems, because every single one carries the potential for an astonishing harvest in due season. Remember this principle whenever doubt creeps in and tries to convince you that your small beginnings disqualify you from big blessings. They absolutely do not. Your journey of faith is validated not by the size of the mountain you see, but by the genuineness of the seed of trust you have chosen to plant firmly within your own soul. We encourage you to internalize this powerful concept today and begin seeing your small acts of obedience as the mighty levers that move the immovable obstacles in your path. Keep showing up with honesty. Keep taking that next small step of obedience, and keep believing in the power residing within that genuine mustard seed faith planted deep inside you. Trust Him fully, even when it feels like you have nothing left to give but that one tiny, sincere kernel of belief, because in His economy that is always more than enough. If this message has resonated with your spirit today, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs encouragement, subscribe for more uplifting content, and leave a comment below sharing your own small victories.